All right, let's talk about Vince Carter. For 22 seasons, the man was basically a human highlight reel, flying above everybody else. But his story? Oh, it's so much more than just the dunks. It's this incredible 4-decade journey of superstardom, some serious controversy, reinvention, and finally, redemption. And you know, who better to kick things off than one of his legendary peers? That's what Kobe Bryant said about playing with the teenage Vince Carter on what he called the greatest AAU team of all time. Think about that. Even then, surrounded by future legends, Carter's athleticism was just on another planet. That unbelievable height, it created a phenomenon we all know as Vinsanity. But it also created these sky-high expectations. So how do we really measure the man once he finally came back down to earth? That's the big question we're going to dig into today.
Okay, so let's dive in by rewinding all the way back to the beginning. We're talking the late 90s. The Toronto Raptors were this brand new franchise, kinda struggling to find their footing, and then a force of nature showed up.
His impact was just immediate and honestly seismic. He wins Rookie of the Year in '99. Then in 2000, he doesn't just win the dunk contest, he basically brings it back from the dead with a performance that we still talk about today. Later that year, he gives us the dunk of death in the Olympics, literally jumping over a 7'2" player. By 2001, he had made the Raptors matter, leading them to their first ever playoff series win and putting Toronto on the basketball map for good.
But here's the thing, Vinsanity was never just about the dunks. At his absolute peak in 2001, he was averaging a ridiculous 27.6 points per game. This right here proves he was always more than just a showman. He was a complete, totally elite scorer who could take over a game whenever he wanted.
But, as fast as he rose, the relationship with the city that he completely electrified, it started to crumble. The era of Air Canada was heading for some serious turbulence. So what happened? Well, frustration with the front office's direction just boiled over. Carter felt like the team wasn't serious about winning, and his private frustration spilled out into the public when he demanded a trade. And the city felt betrayed. The love affair was officially over. When he got dealt to a New Jersey Nets, it started years of just loud, angry boos every single time he came back to Toronto. And that animosity, it ran deep. The hero, once known as Air Canada, was now being called Wince by some of those same fans who felt he was mailing it in. I mean, to go from revered to reviled, it was just a stunning and really painful fall from grace in the city he pretty much built. But after that messy divorce from Toronto, Vince Carter didn't just disappear. Nope. Instead, he started one of the most remarkable second acts in sports history. His career basically split right down the middle into two different guys. The explosive, high-flying superstar slowly turned into this wise, respected veteran leader. Air Canada became a deadly three-point specialist and a mentor so loved by his peers that they named him Teammate of the Year in 2016. He had to completely reinvent himself to last. And that reinvention, it led to these staggering numbers. I mean, look at this. 3rd all-time in games played, 6th all-time in three-pointers, which is just wild for a guy known for dunking. But the most mind-blowing stat, the one that gets me every time, he's the only player in NBA history to play across 4 different decades: the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s. Just unreal. This incredible longevity, it didn't just pad his stats. It gave him something way more valuable. It gave him time. Time for all those old wounds to heal and for his whole journey to come full circle, right back to where it all began.
And then, the ultimate moment of healing arrived, 20 years after that bitter breakup. The Raptors announced that Carter's number 15 jersey would be retired, making him the very first player in franchise history to get that honor. It was a moment that for so long seemed absolutely impossible.
But you know what made it so powerful? Carter's own honesty. He didn't run from the painful history. He acknowledged the hurt on both sides, and by doing that, he finally got to mend that relationship with the city and its fans. The boos were finally replaced with a standing ovation. So today, his legacy is absolutely ironclad. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2024, the ultimate recognition. And in this beautiful final twist, he's back with the Raptors as a broadcast analyst, his voice once again a part of the team he put on the map. So, after all of that,
The Vinsanity, the ugly fallout, the reinvention, and finally, the reconciliation. What's the big takeaway here? What does this incredible career really tell us?
Vince Carter's story is really a powerful lesson in what a legacy truly is. It's not just a snapshot. It's a long story. It's not just about that spectacular flight. It's about the entire journey, the turbulence, the resilience, and the grace of the landing. And as he continues his great career in media, one thing's for sure, he's still finding new ways to leave his mark on the game he loves.